daughters of narcissistic parents. Enter. Come in this video. Yes, I'm 36 and I am a daughter of a narcissistic parent, mother to be precise, and I'm going to share with you just some things along the way, my story about being a daughter of a narcissistic mother. And if you're a daughter of a narcissistic mother, maybe you're just in your very early stages of being a woman, a young adult. Maybe you've just, turned 18. Maybe you're in your 20s. Maybe you're in your 30s. Maybe your 30s and beyond. But this is my story. This is my experience, my true experience. And I think it can become a very lonely place. And I'm someone that hasn't been in contact with my mother now for 4 years and the rest of my family. And so I know how this journey is going in terms of the post-healing, post-no contact, post these things, living by myself, getting out of that situation. So I'm being there for so long. And a lot of the time we don't have somewhere where we can go or talk to, or many of the times we're very misunderstood. I found that with myself, and it can get lonely. So I think it's very important, if you are a daughter of a narcissistic mother, just want to let you know you're very welcome here. And this is a space for you to, if you want to vent, hopefully you're going to get something from my story, and hopefully it will help you in a way. And that's just my goal. I promise myself, as soon as I can get away from this, and I will say, quite horrible woman, I would make sure that I would create videos, and all I wanted was to be in a space where I could create videos to help others in this situation. And I'd never had that space before, and they were trying to sabotage. The many times I tried to make YouTube videos, but that was sabotaged whilst I was there. So now I'm living, alone, and so anyway, where to start really? So it took me a long time to figure out that I was actually a daughter of a narcissistic mother. Now also, at the same token, I want to say it's pretty early. Please do not make this define you either. You are not just a daughter of a narcissistic mother. You are going to flourish into your own being. And I'm saying this pretty early on in the video because I want you to know that you are not defined by this label. Okay? And it's not going to define you. And they are not going to define who you are. They will try, and they have tried for a very long time to define who you are and define who I am as well. But I promise you, is it going to be easy? I didn't say it was going to be easy. Would it feel lonely? It will feel lonely at times. Because I'm not going to sit here and make everything packaged up pretty and pretend like you're not going to have those moments. You will. But I'm telling you, if you don't have those moments, you will never know who you really are. You will never know how far you can come, and you will never know your greatness, because you've had someone that was meant to love you this whole time, trying to put you down, sabotage you along the way, even at points where you didn't even realize you were being sabotaged, when you're not even old enough to even realize that this was an actual thing. So I want to go back to my teenage years. Let me go back. Some of the few very instances that I actually remember very early on. And I do think, for some reason, maybe it starts earlier for some people. Maybe it probably has started earlier, because I do remember being a very discourse and toxic place, even before my teenage years. I just remember a lot of the times just hearing shouting all the time from this woman. So, but I would say, for me, it really formulated. Now I go back and I can look back at it and with an adult brain and understand what everything has happened, right? But now looking back, definitely it formulated in my teenage years. This is when you see the jealous side of the narcissistic mother. I really believe it starts in teenage years. Now, I'm not just saying this just to say this, but if we want to talk about, okay, I really don't like talking about this, but let's talk about beauty standards, right? Okay, let's just talk about society and beauty standards just for one quick moment, because listen, we have all different kinds of people in this world, okay? We have talented people that are amazing at maths. We have people that have got every single talent. So it doesn't mean that your beauty is solely based on whatever it is. But let's just say, for instance, in this place, right? When I was younger, I would say I would fit the beauty body type, I guess, as you're growing up, right? I truly believe if you're a pretty girl, be careful around your narcissistic mother. If you're a stylish girl, if you've got, you know what I mean. Just be very careful around that narcissistic mother. And I'm saying this to the teenage version of myself. I'm saying this because when you're 18 or younger, I don't know, when you're 15, 16, 17, 18, you don't really know. You don't really know, okay? You don't know how beautiful you are. You don't know what you're growing into as a lady. You also are just trying to be guided in that way, and you're taking influences from here and everywhere. What you do not really expect in this course on the path, okay, of you becoming an adolescent going into a young woman, is having a very jealous person standing there beside you the whole time as the closest person to you. I don't want to go too in depth of actually what happened to me when I was in the teenage years, of what she did to me, but let me just tell you, I was humiliated a few times in front of other people, which really stuck with me. I was also kind of shamed a little bit for being in my own home and enjoying the nice weather as you do. And when you're in the nice weather, what do you wear? You wear swim stuff, right? And the jealousy started seeping out. Now, at the time, I didn't know, but now I've reflected back on it. I've really gone back to really understand all this. And let me tell you, they are very jealous. Narcissistic mothers are jealous of you, daughters. They're jealous. They're jealous of maybe a past time that they never got to achieve. Maybe they're a reflection of you, of a younger self of them, which they can never get back. Maybe you are a mirror to their unfulfilled dreams, okay? And unfortunately, through that, they will try to strip down your beauty. They will give you bad advice. They will sabotage your relationships. For instance, if you have like a first boyfriend, if you have a first relationship, be careful. Be careful who you're introducing to your narcissistic mother. Because I'm telling you, again, there's jealousy, and people, if they have not grown up with a narcissistic mother, they will find this very difficult to believe. It's almost like they wouldn't be able to wrap their mind around this, because a potential thing that could happen. No, it's very real. You're not going crazy. Your mother is jealous of you. And I'm not joking. And it's very, very strong correlation between narcissistic mothers and jealousy. It's like they go like hand in hand. Again, you have to understand, you do not have a normal mother. And in some cases, I have to be very honest, you don't have a mother. And you at some point will have to learn how to parent yourself. And I have done this. And I'm still going through it every day. It's an everyday process. It may never change. It may never end. But what I'm saying is that you don't have a mother if you've got a narcissistic mother. And you may not be at the point where I'm at this point. You may be beginning of your journey. This may be the first video you've seen of me. I don't know what point you're at. But all I want you to know is at one point, I would like you to know that you will be able to grieve that person. And when you come to terms with the fact that you can grieve that person, that is a moment of relief and release for you. And it's sad. Anything you grieve will be sad. But I'm telling you, with time, you will overcome it. So I'm sorry that I'm going back and forth a little bit, because I just really want to make that very clear as well. So when I want to go back to the whole jealousy thing and narcissistic mothers, I think it's a poignant point to put first, because it's a lot of the times this jealousy, they try and strip away your individuality, right? The way you dress, the way your appearance, the way they criticize this, your makeup, your body, it'll start, Maybe there's nothing wrong with you. Maybe you had no insecurities and this person was so hyper fixated on criticizing these things that you actually become super aware of these things, and you've now taken this into adulthood. You've become doubting your beauty and your things for validation and things like that, which are very important life skills that you develop during these kind of really sensitive years, going through your adolescence, where you do need some kind of guidance. Maybe you do need some kind of woman sensitivity, but you have to understand, all they think about is themselves. They think about the nucleus of the world is them. They are the center point. And the jealousy, the stripping away of your self-worth, the not giving you the validation, the not celebrating your success and things, not wanting you to achieve things better and greater. It's very odd. And then you start seeing a pattern like, okay, so I've told them that I want to do this. This is very good. Like, you get to a point in your journey right here, in your life, and your things will start clicking. And I think it happens to us like later in the 20s, and we start realizing, wait a minute, like, this person's always got something wrong. This person is never behind me, actually. This person is almost sabotaged me. And then, even at one point, even in my 20s and stuff, I was telling, certain dreams that I had, like, I want to do this, want to go there. I even remember I had a holiday, like my first girls' like holiday thing. She made it so incredibly difficult for me to go on that holiday. I remember I was getting bikinis and I literally had a tiny bit of money like left, right? And I barely even made it to that holiday. And I remember packing, and the look of disgust on this woman's face. And it was, oh, yeah, I should be going. And that's their story. It's I should be going. You are never ever, listen, if you're a daughter of a narcissistic mother, they are never ever going to give you, they're never going to tell you you're beautiful. They will never do that. Even though you deep down know, I'm a pretty girl. I've got style. I've got this talent. I've got, you know it deep down, right? And sometimes you just want that extra because it's your mother. You think, they're just going to give me, let me just go and check. Does this outfit look nice? Does my makeup look nice? Did I do that right? Or, check this. And yeah, they'll check everything. They'll do. But trust me, they're not always giving you the right direction. So unfortunately, if you're a daughter of a narcissistic mother, you have to learn pretty quickly. And I want, if you're younger here, you're just getting into your 20s or your early 20s, I really want to try and save you so much time here, because this is my job right now. This is why I've been given a voice right now, to share my story, not to just waste this, right? And my experience for nothing, because I know that if just one other girl is listening to this, right, and doesn't feel alone in this, I just want you to know, right, whatever you're feeling, whatever dream you want, whatever dream you think any dream you want to go for, that talent you've got, that thing, and if you're starting to feel self-doubt, and it's coming from the same person, right? Every time you go there, it's always a something, it's always a problem, it's always a criticism, it doesn't never feel genuine. It just, there's something about it that just feels off, like, oh, here we go again. And it's just, that's not normal. That is not normal behavior. This is someone that's not well. They're sick. No, and I'm saying it like that. They are actually not well. And when I say they're not well, this is irreversible. I'm being deadly serious. I've tried and tried and tried and tried and tried to the depths of it. I could try to save this person. They cannot be saved. They don't want to be saved. They don't even know they're emitting and exhibiting this kind of behavior. They don't even realize they're doing it. And so if you have that feeling that your mother may be narcissistic, please have a look at some of these other videos that I'm sharing with you. Please, try and see if you're spotting some signs. And if you can get this earlier on, trust me, trust me. I mean, I'm 36 now, and I only got out 4 years ago. And I'm saying got out like I got out of jail, because it is jail. It's literally jail in your life, on your life. It's jail of your expression, of your beauty, of who you are as a woman, of who you can be as a woman. And they are the one that's got the thumb on you. And they don't want you to go. They don't want you to fly. They don't want you to show your greatness. Because you were chosen as a scapegoat for a reason. They didn't just select you for no reason. Have you heard about, where there's siblings and there's one's the golden child, one's the invisible child, and one's the scapegoat. The scapegoat is usually the one that gets it the worst, okay? I am the scapegoat in that dynamic, and maybe you are as well. And you have been chosen, selected, carefully, calculatedly for a reason. They're very calculated, these people, okay? And you see how I say these people? I don't even correlate that person to my mother anymore. It's just a person, because they have zero motherly instinct. It's based on condition, okay? Not unconditioned. It's based on them, on an I, not you. It's never you, and it never will be you. And I'm sorry to say it like this, because I really want you to understand here, but you are not alone here. I really want the daughters of narcissistic mothers to come together here, because for so long there's not been a place for us to go. I had no places to go. I literally had a few outlets, a few podcasts. I would listen to some neuroscience. I would listen to some psychology. I just started learning and just going down deep dives, and I love research and stuff. So that's what I started doing. And then bit by bit, I started understanding things, and I think it's very important that we have a lot of people that just dismiss this, because, and that's how they get away with it as well. People don't understand what happens behind closed doors. People don't understand the battles that we have to go through every single day. When you're living with a narcissistic mother, people, it's just so easy. I did a video, not when I was 35, last year, I was talking about how I'm 35 and broke. I'm still not in a good financial position. And a lot of people, some people in this comments, just do this, just do that. They don't understand that once you have a narcissistic parent, especially that, and you're the scapegoat here, they don't understand how much that is wrapped up in the delay of everything, and how financially most of the time you're helping them, and how they kind of control that narrative. And so it's not just easy just to get out of this situation. It's not just easy to live by yourself. It's not just, just do it, No, you're no one to fall back on. You've got nothing. And at the same time, you're also trying to parent yourself. You're trying to figure out lots of things, So it's almost like a child. You're almost like a young adult in the world, but without anyone being able to parent you. So it delays your. Sometimes I honestly feel, sometimes I do feel quite young and naive. There's a naivety in me, but also I'm 36 as well, and I know that I know things as well. I'm not silly. I would like to think I'm quite an intelligent articulate person, right? But at the same time, there is a naivety to me. And I think as well, with that, when you are conditioned by narcissistic parents, that naivety can fool you into a lot of decision making that you get wrong. I've got wrong as well before. And that decision making can be done by desperation. And I will do a video on that. I will definitely talk about this because I've made many decisions out of desperation to escape that situation I was in. And I want to let the daughters of narcissistic mothers know here, please don't do that. Don't do what I did, because that decision out of desperation is a short cycle, and it will come and bite you back on the arse. And what I mean by that is that you may end up in point A again, back living with that person again, and then you have to start the cycle again. So we have to plan that properly. We have to do that properly. And if you're going to actually make a decision, it has to be pre-planned. And I've failed many times. So this is why I'm saying, listen, this is why I'm saying it, because I know I've been through it. So yes, but we'll come to that another time. So I just want to let the daughters of narcissistic mothers here know that you are not alone in this, okay? You're really not. You're not going crazy. Your mother is not a mother, okay? If she's narcissistic, she's not. And she can never reach that level of mother that you want her to reach. It will never be reachable. But you have a choice. You do. You can, and this is another thing, be careful of picking up those subconscious patterns and behaviors of your narcissistic mother. You can easily pick up their ways, their habits, because you've been conditioned by them since a very young age. You know, you've been living with them your whole life since birth. So, you know, from then you've been programmed, you've been conditioned to feel, to be a certain way, right? And so picking up nuances, subconscious things, you don't even realize that you're doing. Just be very conscious of the unconscious. And so you can unlearn that as well as you're going along this healing journey, whichever point of the journey you are. If you're at the beginning, I really would encourage you to try and spot those signs early, you know, of a narcissistic mother. And I think it's very important that if you do spot those signs early on, that you find a way to never lose your individuality, never lose your to learn the grey rock method very early on. If you're noticing these things, create boundaries very early on as well for yourself. You don't even need to say these boundaries out loud. Just say to yourself, okay, I'm going to get out of this situation. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is not a livable situation. As soon as I can, I will get out of it. If that means get a job, do this, whatever you need to do, get out of that situation. There is going to be no, trust me, if you're in your 20s or younger, talk to the women like me in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. It goes on and on. I guarantee you this is not an easy thing just to break free. So the quicker you can get out, the less delay you have on your life, because it will never change. Sorry, I feel like I've gone in so many paths here, but my main premise and my main purpose of this is I really just want the daughters of narcissistic mothers to really understand we are a collective group and we are strong, okay? We are strong. We've had to be strong, okay? We're strong unfortunately, by pain. But I don't go on with that narrative like I'm strong, you know? Because I'm actually very sensitive. I'm actually a very empathetic person, you know? And I'm not strong. I cry a lot. Do you know what I mean? I have moments, and that is normal. I'm not always a strong person, but people sometimes see me and they think, oh wow, I've got everything together, he's so strong. Like, if someone met me, right, and they didn't know me, they would never assume when they first meet me that, because I'm pretty calm and I have a calm way about me, and I don't think they would ever assume that I grew up with such a toxic narcissistic mother, right? And that's the goal here. We are not trying to go into the footsteps of, we want to be like that. And you know what that is, ladies. The daughters of narcissistic mothers, you know what that is. That battle every day, that war, that shouting, that slamming, that bursting into the door, that just unnecessary comments, arguments, criticism, just the little moving the little spoon across the kitchen, or just moving the cup just for no reason. You know, those little pedantic things, just the things that can sabotage you, humiliating you. Just the list can go on, right? And you, daughters of narcissism, you can please give me an example of when this happened to you. I'm sure you can give me an example of many times your mother has done at least something to you, you know. But what I'm trying to say is that in order for us to get over this, right, we don't want to be a copy. You do not want to be your mother. And it's very easy to say, oh no, I'd never be that. But actually, you don't understand. When you're unaware of your subconscious and your unconscious, just things that you're just doing, you'll start realizing, oh my God, I'm not doing that, am I? And you know what I mean? So just be very careful of that. And also, you're not going to be that person. You're not. And you're going to make the decision to make sure that you're going to become better, because they try to bring you down and they're not going to bring you down. And that's where you want to use your strength. You want to use this pain, this resilience you've had to have every day, spent years every day just trying to get through the day, right? We're going through battles every day. People just don't understand the battles we have to go through every day. If you can get through those battles, I'm telling you, daughters of narcissistic mothers and parents, I swear, are some of the most resilient, persistent, strongest people. And that is part of talent. I'm genuinely being serious. To be able to persist and resist and be resilient to things, to go on and on and on like that. We have something built up now in our system which we can use for amazing things. Amazing things. We could also use it for destruction. We could also use it for going down a path of feeling lonely, of feeling you have nothing, of feeling I don't know how to get out of this situation, of feeling empty, right? There's two different paths. But I want you to know, please use that as the path to just try and do 1% a day. Try and just build yourself up, parent yourself. Just try and make yourself see that self-worth in you again. Make yourself feel validated, because you are validated, you are beautiful, you are talented. You were chosen for a reason, okay? Not by accident. You have something in you. And I want to make sure that you never dim that light in you. And don't allow them to dim that light in you. I know days get really hard. I know. It gets to a point, it really does get to a point where it's just like, is this ever going to end? And I'm telling you, the way it ends is you take control of this situation. That's how it ends. And you have to say bye. You have to grieve, and you have to go no contact. That is the only way. It is the only way you are going to be able to start shining. And it's getting away from them. And I am a great believer of no contact, completely no contact. I don't believe in this having a phone call here every now and then. It's stressful. I tried to do that whole halfway, let's do a phone. It's very stressful. They try and rope you back in. There's something else. They've got another bill. They've got something else they need help with. It's stress every time on the phone. And then it brings you back again into that negative energy. You get off the phone and you're like, why did I call them? Why did I meet up with them? Why did I do this? I can't wait to leave. Why are we putting ourselves through this? We know the answer. I'm so sorry that maybe that's not the answer you wanted. I know for many of us, we're like, why? We just want a mother that loves us. And we're never going to have that. But you know what we're going to have? Maybe we'll have a community here. Maybe we'll have lots of people in these comments and people here that come together and recognize each other here, you know? And, you know, sometimes that is enough. Sometimes strangers that have experienced the same thing in life We can come together as one because we have a common ground of understanding what we're going through. But I don't just want us to stop there. I want us to actually thrive and not just survive. We've been in survival mode for so long. We're not just surviving. We're going to thrive. We're going to do better. We're going to get out. We're going to achieve those things that we're going to achieve. It may not happen all at once, and that's okay. This is not a sprint. This is like a marathon to the healing of this, right? But I can guarantee you, the person I am, the woman I am, when I was living with a narcissistic mother to no contact, is completely different. Completely different. Literally. And it's crazy because you start realizing things in yourself. Like, wow, I'm actually good at this. Wow, I can do this. And wow, you don't need to people please. You don't need the validation. You don't need all this because you're conditioned to also go to someone all the time to get that. And that's not our fault, okay? We were denied that. But it's okay because we have people with life experiences now that will talk about it. And hopefully this helps in some way, and we can share our stories and we can share these things, but we can also understand that we can grow with this at the same time. But I just want to let you know, as a 36-year-old woman, what I've learned from going no contact 4 years ago, that is the best next step. If you think your mother is narcissistic or you're a daughter of a narcissistic mother and you're still in contact, I honestly believe it's not going to get better. And I could lie to you and say it does get better, but it's very rare that if your mother is truly narcissistic, it's very rare that they will change. Very, very rare. And it's very rare that they would even know that they're narcissistic, to be honest, because they're that in themselves that they don't even know. Okay? So, daughters of narcissistic mothers, you are loved, okay? Maybe not by them, it's fine. But we're going to pour it back in ourselves right now. We're going to take control of this situation. We're not going to allow this woman to sabotage us. No, we're not doing that anymore. It doesn't matter what stage of the journey you are. You could be at the beginning. You could be there for ages. Do you know what I mean? You could be in your 40s, your 30s, your 20s. It doesn't matter what stage you are along the way. What happens is that you can make a choice right now and say enough is enough. I'm going to take control of this. I'm not going back and forth like a ping pong anymore. I'm not ping-ponging my life. You're not doing this. No, this is not a joke. We have one life, one shot at it, and we're not going to allow someone that was meant to give us the love to take it away and sabotage us anymore. No, we have to get away from them. They're bad energy, and they're not going to change. And the moment you realize this and go no contact, this is based on my personal experience of doing this many times, 3-4 times, going back and forth, and never been able to go until I was like 32, so, and I've done that method of the mid contact, and I've done the no contact, and the no contact, I'm never going back to not no contact. Okay, daughters of narcissist mothers, I just want to let you know, I'm proud of you. I don't know where you are in the world right now. You're doing great, okay? If you're here, you're doing great. If you've managed to listen to this, wherever you've listened to it, you're doing great. You've got this. You will get through this. I promise you. I am getting through this. I'm here living by myself. It can be done, okay? I promise you it can be done. There's one point I was like, I'm never getting out of this. Do you know what I mean? And I promise you it'll get better. And I'm going to keep making these videos because I need you to know that we just need to plan better. I just need to let you know that, trust me, I was thinking about doing a series of how to actually get out of this situation, what I did, maybe what I would do differently and how I'd plan it better, the mistakes that I made as well along the way. But it does get better, and I need you to know the number one thing you need to know is that you need to remove yourself from this person. This is a person that unfortunately does not want the best for you. They want the best for themselves. But You're great. You were chosen for a reason. You are talented. There is something special about you, and you've got this, okay? And I know that if you are a daughter of a narcissist mother, you've got grit and you've got resilience in you that no one will ever understand. And we got to use that as a powerful thing for us, and we got to use it in a positive way, because not everyone has that. Not everyone has that, and we've got that, so we can use that for our benefit. At least we can use that pain for something, you know. So I hope in some way, I just hope this kind of inspires you to, maybe if you haven't gone no contact, I'm not telling everyone just to go no contact, that may not be your story. I'm just telling you my personal experience of what's happened from my life if we're going no contact, and it's vastly different from the other. And I just want you to know, don't worry about these little criticisms, these things. Try and ignore them if you can. Try and not argue back. Try and do those things. I have some other videos about grey rock method and stuff, so please go and check on the channel and stuff. But I'm proud of you, and keep going. There will be a breakthrough. There will be a light, and you're going to do that, and we're going to do it together. So please comment below, let me know what you thought about this video, and I really just want you to let you know, daughters, you're not alone here, okay? You're definitely not alone. And I'm living by myself. This is proof. I may only got here till I was 30 something, I'm 36, and it may take me a long time, but hey, I'm in peace. And that's all we're trying to get to. All we want is peace and just a normal, stable life. That's all we're trying to get to, I'm sure. So please comment below. Please subscribe to this channel, because I do make more videos about narcissism and stuff like that. And yeah, I really would love all of you to be here. And yeah, I hope, you know, in some way you got something from this, and in some way I hope you don't feel less alone in your journey. And please comment so we can see everyone else there. And yeah, we got this. We got this. We got this, girlies. We got this. We got this. Okay, this is the Nana journey, and I'm gonna go.